So, yeah, I think that's all like very valuable information, and will probably help the viewers to tell. Like, I mean, they will not be able to really tell, but somewhat get some ideas of who are refugees.
At least an
Yeah.
insight.
Yeah.
So of course we didn't go through all the details because it's a complex process, and even to identify who is not
Yeah.
refugee or someone
Okay.
in need of protection is hard.
So then now we'd like to ask you some questions that we frequently get asked by our clients. Maybe you can, give us some answers. So here's a very good question. It's related to family abuse, family violence. So my spouse is abusing me or has been abusing me. Can I claim asylum in Canada to escape from them or escape them?
I'm afraid that every question you're gonna make, I'm gonna answer depends.
It depends.
It depends.
Okay.
It depends on the situation. And I don't want to make even more confusing the situation, but it's exactly like that. So, if you are suffering abuse and police system is working, this person cannot, do anything against you without facing the consequences. The judicial system in that country is working. If you move away to that city, but inside your country, you're safe. Probably you're not gonna have a base for that.
Okay.
But if that is not the case, you might.
Maybe.
Yeah, you might. That is in particular in those cases. Sometimes there's kids involved, there is other family members, so which makes the situation more complex. Let's say, okay, this person it's threatened just the wife or husband or even other family members. There is a way to escape from that situation, move to another city, to another region, or not. How it is the police there can citizens trust in their own police to protect them. Everything has to be checked before I say, okay, yeah, maybe you have
So
a
it
base
depends.
for the claim. It depends.
So I guess there may be possible good case would be their spouse has power in the country that can influence those institutions, police, or they have a in a connection
Exactly.
to, then maybe have a case.
Exactly.
But then, although this family violence was there, but this person could go get protection from its own state, then it may not be a good refugee case or protection case for this purpose. How about Craig? Do you have any questions for Tom?
Yeah, I did come across a case a year or two ago. Someone was already in Canada studying, and while she was studying, a war broke out in her home country, which
Happening right now
it
too.
can happen.
Yeah.
So in her situation, would she have a valid claim to be in need of protection, or as a refugee?
Trying to not say it depends.
It depends.
But it seems that likely yes, this person is gonna have a base. Usually, if the war is everywhere in the country, so there is no safe place, and then of course your first intention here in Canada wasn't claim for refugee, but while you're studying or working here, something happened that you couldn't predict before. So Canada is not gonna send you to some place that is not safe for you, for sure. Then you have a base to make that claim. Say, okay, I cannot go back because I'm gonna risking my life if I go back. So that is the idea.
But then I have a follow-up question.
Okay.
So in the middle of the process, in the middle of your, let's say, PR process, so let's say like, okay, you will recognize that you need a protection from Canada. So you're able to submit your PR application, but it's a lengthy process, like takes about 2 years, I think. But during that 2 years, what if the war ended? Then what happens for this person?
If it is safe to the person to go back to the country, it not gonna have, this person is not going to have the refugee protection or even the PR.
That's sad.
I would make that a similar comparison to family sponsorship. If the couple breaks up or divorces during the process, the applicant can no longer be eligible to be sponsored.
Okay. And then actually you had mentioned something like this, earlier when you were explaining about the refugee status and protected person. So after they receive the PR status, but the situation in that country significantly changed. So then what happens? Does this person have to go back?
Once more, once the decision was made and the base for the claim wasn't a lie, wasn't fraudulent, you probably can keep your status. You probably can keep your PR. But we have to understand that it doesn't mean that you can go back to that country all the time. Then there is special situations. Of course, the idea, in the general idea, is like this person needs protection because he or she cannot live in their regular place he or she used to live. So that is the idea. If this person can go back without any problem, there is no need for protection anymore. Of course, there is a lot of situations. Sometimes the person is already well established here. I don't know, have a family, married, kids, have a life. Why we gonna just ruin this person's life just to send it back? It's like, of course, we understand wars doesn't last forever. Sometimes you have like a short war, but they destroy the entire country, and you don't know exactly how to navigate in that country anymore. So Canada is not in a place to put people in a hard time.
Okay, so I guess then, to sum your answer up, what I'm understanding is that Canada is not necessarily going to like revoke your PR status, but then that specific example you mentioned was because if this person had a well-founded fear of his or her own country, then even after obtaining PR, shouldn't really like freely go back to that country for vacation, pleasure. So if IRCC or IIB finds that, then that person may have lied in the application. So maybe then based on that ground,
definitely.
PR may be revoked. Okay.
No doubt it will.
Okay. I have one more question. Sorry for many questions though. So, so person in need of protection is because this person on balance of probability will face risk, their life, torture, hardship, unusual treatment, punishment. So if this person was sentenced to death, let's say in the country of the origin, could this person have a ground to apply for protection? So, okay, maybe I should be more specific. So this person committed a crime in that country, but the sentence that he or she is getting is death penalty. So would Canada respect people's life and trying to protect it, so that would take this person as a refugee?
That is very specific. In my personal opinion, I think this person would have a base for claim. Of course, we cannot guarantee anything, but there is a lot of things that's going to be involved in this discussion. What kind of crime?
Mm-hmm.
What kind of process? Definitely, a death penalty is not something that Canada is committed, and this crime, it is a crime in Canada, and how would be the penalty here? So there is a lot of base to discuss about the situation, and it's kind of open.
Okay.
But a death penalty, it's not something that Canada is committed to send people back to die.
So
It's not something that we do here.
So the big question would be why that person is getting that death penalty.
And I can jump in and say, give an example. Some countries where same-sex relationships are illegal can be punishable by death. In Canada, it's
Completely legal.
completely legal.
Yeah.
So for that reason, if the person escaped
Exactly.
their country for that crime, well, the crime in their country, I think that could be a basis of claim.
Yeah, and it could be like a conventional refugee based on a social group that this person is part of. And so we talk about persecution, and persecution could be also from the state. So sometimes a person in that situation is going to face a judicial process, but for us, with what we know here, it's that is no basis, not a crime. So for us, our society.
And how about this person committing murder in the country and getting death penalty? Would Canada be willing to provide protection for this person? It's, I guess, very extreme.
It gets complicated,
Yeah,
and
it
it
gets
depends.
every time more complicated.
It might depend on the political situation there and
Yeah.
the reason for the murder, but obviously murder in Canada is illegal too. So
I think, yes, I think it really depends on probably for the situation too. But if this person is like just pure fugitive, trying to escape from the justice system, actually also probably it matters where this happened to.
What I'm saying, it's serious criminality, and I don't want to get in another.
that's another.
Yeah, that's
another
topic.
video.
Yeah, it's very technical. It's not protected. So if you're a serious criminal, you are not protected.
Yeah, I mean it's actually probably not in Canada's best interest too.
Yeah,
it
exactly.
puts us in danger too, by allowing this person in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that is a line to be drawn in certain cases, and it's clear for us. We know exactly who are the who has committed serious criminality, and those are not protected.
Okay, thank you. Any questions, Craig?
I could ask one. Could you give an example, some concrete examples of specific documents that could prove someone needs protection, or if they meet the definition of a convention refugee?
If they are a conventional refugee, if they were assessed by UN, it's they have a certificate. So it's people that usually live in a protected space and by the
At the
UN.
refugee camp.
Yeah, those guys can apply. Other process that is not one document. Of course, ID, proof who they are. It's the first one, but every situation is going to require a different proof. What happened is you can even have witnesses, so you can hear people. You have maybe personal statements from other people saying something about the situation. So every situation requires a different proof. We don't have a list of documents. Okay, bring this.
Sure, it's not like, again, not like a skilled worker application where it's here's the checklist.
Exactly.
It's like, no, you bring what you can
Exactly.
to show.
Yeah, it's why you need protection and why you cannot be protected in the place that you are, and what happened there, which kind of consequences did you face, which kind of risks you were subject to, and how you're gonna prove that. It's pretty much what you have to prove.
Yeah.
Okay, then I don't have any more questions.
Yeah, I think we intended to make this brief, and there's
usual.
a lot to talk about, but it can at least give some insight into the process and how one might be eligible. I think in most situations our viewers probably are not eligible, but it depends.
Thank you for watching our videos. If you have any questions or are having some trouble with your maintaining status in Canada, please email us at info@gbmimm.com. We'll get back to you and give you helpful advice. Thank you. Bye.